Hey folks, Crazy Collaborator here again, and welcome to game number 10 in R20 from the Sega CD series. This game was created by the toy company Hasbro and Digital Pictures in 1992, and it's a kind of a B horror movie game that you can interact with. This is called Night Trap, and boy did I enjoy this game. A lot of people did not enjoy this game. They were not full motion video fans, or they thought the game was repetitive or something. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And Dana Plato, who played Kimberly in Different Strokes, stars in this. Unfortunately, she had drug problems much of her life, and she died by the 2000s. But she's in this, and she plays an agent for a SWAT team type of group. And they are trying to prevent the disappearance of girls that visit this estate owned by the Martins. And the Martins, spoiler alert, are vampires, and there will be a bunch of other vampires that visit their home. And we will get a mission briefing from the leader of your SWAT team, or they're called the SCAT team, which stands for Sega Control Attack Team. And this was also ported to a number of other systems, PC, 3DO,
Commander Sims,
and such.
Sega Control Attack Team.
You can skip this, and if you want a perfect game, you have to.
After spending the night at the old Lakeshore Winery house of Mr. and Mrs. Victor Martin.
Because while you're getting this briefing,
Jeff,
there will be other vampires that are
and Sarah.
starting to pop into that house. Just press start right at the beginning, and you'll be able to catch them.
Spend the night. Your mission? Protect those girls from whatever happened to the last ones.
And you have to set up traps to catch these
Last night, one of our agents got into the house
vampires.
and found some kind of weird security system. Hidden cameras in almost every room and a series of traps. Our agent spliced an override into the security system, allowing you to have control of the cameras and the traps with this remote unit.
And you have 8 different rooms in the house that you can look at.
Capture anyone or anything that endangers the lives of those girls. But make sure you don't trap someone you should be protecting. One slight problem. The traps are protected with an access code. They won't work unless you enter the right code.
Yeah.
Right now the code is set to blue.
You have to set the code correctly.
But anyone inside the house can change that code at any time. So pay close attention to what they're saying.
It may seem kind of difficult to understand, but it's really not. The game is pretty easy to play, I think. But you have to move. You have to move quickly between the rooms sometimes.
And this is Kelly. One of my
there
best
she is. There's
undercover
Dana
agents.
Plato.
She'll be arriving with the rest of the girls. I'm putting her life and the lives of those other girls in your hands. So don't even think of messing up.
Now, if you sit too long through this, you will get a game over.
Or the guts for this assignment. Give the controls to someone who does. The girls should be pulling into the driveway. You're wasting time. Get over there now.
Oh, it
Looks
took
like
too
you're not
long.
up to this mission. Breaking contact.
And you get kind of a game over. And the game will reset. But yeah, if you want a perfect game, you've got to skip that intro there. So we're going to get to this point, and we'll start.
Get over there now.
Now here's this screen. See, there's already been a bunch of enemies that got into that house. See where it says possible and then captured, and I haven't captured any. Now from this screen you see the 8 different rooms that I can access. And you move the joystick over to the room that you want to look at and press A. Oh, and there's a vampire. These vampires clad in ninja suits are called Augers, and they're kind of deformed, weak vampires.
Welcome to our little getaway.
And you hear that little buck buck. That means that enemies have entered and not been trapped. And these are these girls that arrive with Kelly, who's of course undercover, played by Dana Plato right there.
Oh, Kelly. Nice to meet you, Mr. Martin.
Please call me Victor.
It's Victor and Sheila Martin. They're vampires, and they have a daughter and a son,
Come on, everyone. Let's go.
and they're also in the house. And these girls have been invited to the place, and there is their neighbor, Weird Eddie.
That's Weird Eddie. He's just one of the neighbors.
And he's a good guy. He'll help a little bit in the game. Oh, and there. Oh, I missed the Aug on the roof. There's an Auger on the roof, and you have to press the B button when that meter fills up to the red, and you will capture that Auger. There will be a trap that is sprung, and the traps will be like trapdoors or something of the like. I love how this game has something going on at just about every possible point in the game in one of those rooms.
Oh, homemade cherry
And you can they keep some blood treats, like blood popsicles and stuff. But you can easily get wrapped up in the story or the goings on and forget that you were supposed to catch Augers in a different room, and there's an Auger getting out, and I didn't trap him. So far I have trapped none of them. You will get a game over if this keeps up eventually. This game came on 2 discs. We're gonna start over, and I'll show you me capturing all the Augers eventually. And there's the daughter. There's 2 Augers I'll capture. And that's the full scene of a trap wiping them out. But you do not want to watch the whole trap. You'll need to cut away. Oh, yeah, here I let a couple Augers get away. Again, you'll hear that buck buck, which means somewhere in the house that Augers got in and were not trapped. And if you want a perfect game, like I said, you have to skip the intro. Completely skip it. Press start as quickly as you can. And in this area, there's 2 Augers that enter quickly, one after another. That will sometimes happen. We're just, for a little bit, we're just going to look at some scenes of the traps and whatnot. Some other goings on, and there's Eddie again.
Hey, Sarah. Who's that? That's Weird Eddie.
Yeah,
He's just one of the neighbors.
the younger brother of one of the girls, Danny on the left, becomes friends with Eddie, and Eddie helps him out. Eddie is an inventor, and he creates this special type of laser gun that can kill some of the Augs. And there's really annoying Megan. She's a super annoying character, and they're dancing to this kind of lame song called Night Trap, which is made for the game. And you hear the buck buck again. That's more Augers getting in the house. But yeah, remember, button A will access a room that you have that cursor on. button B will activate a trap when it fills up to the red.
Dudley, we better change that code. How about green? Sure.
And note that there is a code that they mentioned. You will have to go to a particular room when they're going to say that they're going to change a code. And for the first trap that you are going to use right after the code, you do not need to switch yet. But after that trap, you will need to switch. And anytime that they tell the code in other rooms, or after that, then you will need to switch right away. And there's a SCAT team member that got caught, and they're going to drain his blood. The game was controversial for violence, even though it's not really that heavy. They show like them put a tube in his neck, and the blood starts flowing into these jars. It's not super graphic or anything. I think the controversial nature was kind of overplayed back in the day, or people reacted a little ridiculously. But I really enjoyed this. Some people, like I said, didn't like all the full motion video games back in the day. I didn't care. I thought it was fun. There was always something going on in one of the rooms. Now we have one of the girls in mortal danger, and we caught one of the Augs that was trying to catch her. And we'll also see what happens if they do capture her. Then you will get a game over and a pissed off SCAT team leader. And this probably garnered the most concern. You'll see that tube fill up with blood, and they have this little thing that goes around her neck and drills into her neck. It's not super violent, I didn't think. Not like Mortal Kombat or something at the time.
I don't believe what I just saw. Those bloodsuckers just got Lisa, and you had a chance to save her. I put the lives of those girls in your hands, and you screwed up. I'm pulling the plug on you before you do any more damage.
Yeah, it's game over.
Problems. What?
The Augs are here.
All right. I'll go downstairs and reset the access code to blue.
Yep, and now you got to change your code again. And you change the code by pressing the C button.
You're missing the point.
And
here.
here's me.
You've got to be trapping more of those leeches.
Yep, getting a game
This
over
just don't cut it.
because I just
You put
didn't
those girls
capture
in
enough.
danger, that means you're out of here. Breaking contact.
You will eventually be able to capture the Martins. Not just the Augers here, but it's mostly the Augers. And this is the beginning of me playing a perfect game, and I'll show you where all the Augers are and at what times. But there are like two major codes, sets of codes at least. Some Night Trap games will have different times for the Augers. There might be more than two sets of codes. I only really knew of two, and I think I've played both sets of codes before in the past. But here are the rooms, here are the times. And I'll also show you the rooms where you need to listen for a code change.
They're here.
And I might show a little bit extra video, of the
Looks like
goings
a
on.
healthy bunch.
Yes, it should be a good weekend.
Too bad we must visit the Augs tonight. I'd much rather stay here and enjoy our new guests.
Now, Victor, we can't forget about the poor Augers.
Oh, you and your charity work is beginning to be much too much. Come, let's visit the girls.
But only if you have time in between capturing Augers should you stop and watch the video. But yeah, there will be various trapdoors or closets jutting out to knock them onto a bed, and the bed acts as a springboard to toss them into some room where they're destroyed or something. And sometimes they get knocked off the roof. Very silly. I thought the game was silly. I couldn't take it nearly as seriously as a lot of other people did for its violent content. yeah, like I said, this game comes on 2 discs. At one point, the game will prompt you to take out the first disc and put in the second. The game runtime is like 25 some minutes. And here we have to change the access code. And again, you press the C button to do that. And you have to listen to what color they say to change it to. And again, the first AUG that you capture after the first code change, you wait until you captured them and then you change the code. And after that, or at least in my experience, you have to change that code right after they say. But you watch that line start to fill up. It's almost always green, but when it starts going strong into the yellow, then there will be a trap ready to spring. You know, when you see augers on the screen, or a single auger. There's either going to be one or two. And here they're trying to get Danny, and you're going to stop them. Yeah, I didn't take time to show the whole trap just because I needed to quickly move to another room and wait for more augers. But this is one set of times for the rooms to capture augs. And here we're going to have another code change, I think.
That girl looks exactly like Madeline.
Oh, not that again.
No, not that again.
Come on, Studley, we better change that code.
How about red?
Sure.
Yeah, the one with the glasses, that's actually a cousin of the Martins, or the Martin kids. But he's a vampire too. His name's Tony. Dana Plato was really the only prominent actor or actress in this game. And there's more on the roof. Eventually, your speed at changing to different rooms is going to have to be real quick, because there will be like one after another, especially towards the end of the game. And here Danny's in peril again from the augers, and he actually sees them now. And you'll be able to catch one of them, or maybe it was two. No, just one. One of the SCAT team members, and now we'll save Lisa from being killed. Other girls can get killed, as well as Dana Plato's character.
Come on, let's get some fresh air. Right.
Another code change, I think.
Big problems.
What?
The Augs are here.
All right, I'll go downstairs and reset the access code to yellow.
Okay. Yeah, at this point we have to change the color right away before we capture our next augers. Now you can press start, and you will not, the time counter will not move.
Oh, now what?
You'll want to definitely do that when you have to be quick at changing rooms. It's good to press start and then select your room and then press the A button. And now we are prompted to put in the second CD. Sorry, the parameters shifted. Sometimes if I record for a while and then stop and then record again, then the parameters shift a little bit for some reason. The screen parameters. Oh well. At any rate, now we are on disc 2. It's kind of stupid. You'll hear crickets chirp at any room that you have nothing going on in. It's like crickets got inside the house. Now, when you're moving from one room to another and you see
Out
snow,
of the control room. Maybe Tony has seen Augs.
Gotcha.
and it takes a
I
long
feel better
time,
if we switch the code again to blue.
there's
Don't
another
want
code
anyone else
change.
to get control.
If you see the snow for a fairly long time, that means something's going on in the room that you just switched to. Some video. More Augs. There's one scene where the Augs come into a room and they high-five each other. It's funny. There's a lot of humorous touches to this game that I really dig.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to have this back in the day. There were a couple different boxes to this. There was one that was red,
I'm upstairs with the
and then there was another that was blue.
Mike, be careful. These people are into something a lot.
Here's one of the SCAT team members, and he gets killed. Sometimes you can prevent them from being killed, and sometimes you can't.
Mike, I'm not kidding.
Okay, hold on. We'll tell leader we're coming in. Leader, this is Mike. Come in. Leader, this is Mike. Come in.
Yep. One of the SCAT team members was the voice of Devastator in Transformers in the early cartoons. Yeah, I had to switch over quickly before we could see the whole trap so that I could ensure that I could get all the augers. You don't have to get all of them, of course. Yeah, Megan's the really annoying one. You have a chance to let her die. Sometimes you can actively trap a good guy. Either a SCAT team member or one of the girls. And note that Kelly, played by Dana Plato, will often address you during the game. Use the traps. Yeah, you don't get to choose what type of trap is being set. And there's one Aug after another, so you have to stay on that screen. Oh, here's where you can actually let Megan die. You can accidentally trap her. You need to wait just a little bit longer. The meter will fill up, but you don't press the button the first time unless you want her to die, which I wouldn't blame you. You have to wait for it to fill up the second time. It's about to do that here. Ah, here's me trapping her. They drop her in. And I get a game over.
Megan is dead.
I put that in. That's not in the game.
You could have saved her. You were responsible for her life. You screwed up. There's a lot going on in this house. Too bad you're not going to be around to see any more of it. You screwed up!
We'll pick up with me actually saving her. But I just wanted you to see like all the scenes with the Augs being trapped. And here we can trap Tony. He's a vampire too, and one of the girls resembles one of his past loves.
Don't be foolish, Kelly. They wouldn't stand in my way.
And here I let him get her.
Would you?
And this time I catch him.
Thanks, Control. That was close.
But like I said, there are two different sets of times. So if this isn't the one you need to follow and you're playing this game, consult game FAQs or just Google Night Trap Auger times or something and look for the set of codes that makes more sense. Later versions for like I don't know, Nintendo Steam or PlayStation 4 or 5 or one of the later platforms, and there's the SCAT team members being subdued. And here's another don't trap right away or you'll take out one of the SCAT team members as well. It won't get penalized if you kill them. And you wait for the second one, then you'll kill him, Jeff, but not her.
What are we going to do with the others?
Don't worry about them. Now, let's go and get that phony.
And they called Kelly a phony because they figured out that she's not one of the girls. She's a SCAT team member, which is disgusting. SCAT team. And I just wanted to do a run through showing you all of the augers you can catch. Her you have to catch real quick right after the last augers. Her husband didn't seem too broken up about her death. And now this goes into the bathroom. So there's the hall 1, kitchen, entryway, living room, bathroom, bedroom, hall 2, and driveway. Those are the 8 rooms. And there goes Daddy. And now we have to just deal with the daughter.
Please, you're the only one that can save me. You're all mine now.
And you can elect to let her live so that she can kill Kelly. And you still have one last chance to kill Kelly.
I knew I could count on
She
you.
walks away onto that
You're
trap,
wonderful.
and you can trigger
Next
it.
time I'm on special assignment, I'm going to insist that you back me up. I'd go anywhere with you and feel secure knowing that you were at the controls.
Ah, look at that meter fill up. Ah, I gotcha.
Oh, I can't believe you do this to me after everything we've been
And then you'll go to the end of the game screen, which shows the credits and plays the Night Trap theme song. Theme song was done by Sunny Blue Skies. And here's me letting
You won't feel a
let their daughter Sarah live, and she bites Kelly. same screen.
Nah, you wouldn't. I didn't think so. Bye, see you next time.
Yeah, this was definitely cheesy, but I really enjoyed it, and I find replay value. Like if you play the game through, you can try it again, and not capture Augs as proficiently as last time, and so that you can see the different scenarios going on throughout the house. Like I said, there's always something going on. Almost at every moment in the game, there's something going on in at least one of the rooms. And again, the process is let that meter fill up, and once it goes into the red, there's going to be a trap for the Augs that you see on the screen, and you press the B button to trigger it. You will press A in order to go to a room that you have the little cursor on, and you will press C to change your code. And the codes are 3 different colors. There's blue, green, red, yellow, purple, and orange. And you have to know which rooms to go into, where they're going to say what color they're going to change the code to. And if you have the wrong color and you press the button when the Augs are, you're trying to trap those Augs, you'll just hear a buzz and they won't be trapped. Yeah, you have to get really proficient at capturing the Augs and not watching the traps. I know it's satisfying, but no, you have to break away to the next room, because there will be times when you have to trap one Aug after another, or one of the other bad guys after another. And in the case of Sheila, the wife, Mrs. Martin, you have to switch very quickly off the previous enemy that you trap over to her, because you will only have like 2 or 3 seconds to trigger that trap. Now, after the credits, there will be something that says, in memory of Stephen D. Hassenfeld. Stephen D. Hassenfeld was the CEO of Hasbro, and he died before the game was completed. And you go back to the start after his picture appears. Now, on where it says, in memory of Stephen D. Hassenfeld, press up and then A 5 times, and you'll go to a special screen. Now, this shows the Sega Nemo system being presented to Hasbro executives back in 1986, and the Sega Nemo did not see the light of day. Here's their presentation, and one of the games they are working on is the later to be called Night Trap, and at the time it was under a different title. It was, I think, called something like Scene of the Crime. Rob Fulop, who used to work for Atari, making Atari 2600 games, was part of, I think, Sega, either Sega or Digital Pictures, or maybe he worked for Hasbro, one of them. But they all worked on this game. And Stephen D. Hassenfeld is on the far right. I think he died of like complications from AIDS or something. And he died, I think, like in 1989. But this was Night Trap, created by Digital Pictures, Hasbro, and Sega. There is a trick we're going to look at. It's not really a trick. All the Digital Pictures games, as far as I know, you can select the second trap, or the second track, T-R-A-C-K, and you'll hear a weird message. And here it is. So select track 2.
Good afternoon, Digital Pictures.
That's number 9 backwards. But that was Night Trap, created by Digital Pictures, Hasbro, and Sega in 1992. Game number 10 R20 from the Sega CD series. Well, I thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon for game number 9. Bye-bye, folks.